All right, let's get it. This is going to be day 3 of Hell Week. Just updating you guys play by play for those of you guys that are in the mentorship and have been following along. We are predicting the market in every one of these videos, so that way you guys are not surprised when you see the market pushing up or giving us retraces. If you guys don't know where we left off with, go ahead and go back to the previous video. I think it's labeled day 2 of Hell Week. And just to remind you guys, why do we call this Hell Week? Let's just get straight into it. First things first, we'll go ahead and switch over to Forex Factory and we'll look at all the red folder news. Now, you guys already know part of my strategy is that I don't like to be surprised when I enter the market. I like to have a good idea of what to expect. More importantly, I don't want to be blindsided with engulfing candles. Now, some people are going to blame this and call this the Trump candles, right? From his tweets and stuff, not realizing that the market was going to do what it was going to do regardless of what Trump said, okay? So we'll start from Monday. Excuse me. I am human. I got to sneeze, right? I always do that. So you guys know this isn't AI and I'm not a robot. I am a human that knows how to predict price. So Monday, of course, we had red folder news. Fed Chairman Powell was speaking. Didn't really care what he said, but that was lined up with the same time that we hit that 22,000 level on NQ that we were talking about, that we were targeting for the last couple months. Price did wick into that zone and give us a nice engulfing candle to the upside, followed by red folder news yesterday, which was Tuesday. Okay. And then also we had red folder news today. Now we had 3 or 4 different red folder news today. And Trump, I think he's actually still speaking. He just started talking about 30 minutes ago. And it really doesn't matter what he says because he's been capping for the last 2 months. And more importantly, he's been talking about how we've been planning to leave the Middle East in the next 3 weeks. But he said that 2 to 3 weeks ago. So those of you guys that are believing that, you guys should already know that the narrative is capped. And he's just using that to pretty much set the precedent that he doesn't want war, that he wants to de-escalate and that he wants to make a deal. But that is not the case. Iran has publicly said that although Trump is saying that he wants to make a deal, Iran says that they say that, but they've been bombing us at the same time. So you guys believe what you want to believe. But nonetheless, the charts are going to do what it wants to do. And basically, like I told you guys in the Discord, regardless of what he says, whenever he sends out a tweet, all he does is speed up the move. Okay, the levels are the levels. Regardless of what he says, regardless if we're there or not, whatever he says is just going to speed up the market and it's just going to have him justify it. So if the market turns bullish all of a sudden because the algorithm already had it pre-programmed, he wants to take credit for it. All right, long story short. So that's what we have for red folder today. Tomorrow we do have red folder as well. And don't forget, Friday we have red folder. So, hey guys, if you guys got these funded accounts and you guys are trying to trade this, you can't get upset at anybody but yourself. Part of being a profitable trader, you can ask any profitable trader, they'll tell you this. Part of the journey is submitting to the idea that not every day is a trading day and that you can't blame anybody but yourself. You can sit here and blame like market makers and sit here and say, oh, they know where my stop losses are. You can blame your prop firm for the glitches and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, guys, if you want the smoothest price action, you have to wait until there aren't red folder news events that are on the schedule. More importantly, if you guys got NFP or non-farm employment change or unemployment rates or any of these red folder events that are big, like CPI and all that stuff, guys, and you have that presented on a Friday, which would be every Friday at the beginning of the month, usually by Tuesday will be the last chance you guys will see any type of clean price action. So after Tuesday, if you get chopped up and you blow your account because you're flipping your bias and you keep getting stopped out, and then you zoom out and notice it's just a wick on a higher time frame, you can't blame anybody but yourself. So I got to ask you guys, how many times until you finally submit to the idea that you're just going to let this come and go and get back on the charts next week? That's all you're going to do. I'd rather do that instead of trying to lose $2,000 in my account and I spend the whole next week trying to make it back. All right. But that's just me though. So anyway, without further ado, let's just get back into these charts. Okay. First things first, let's check out NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, oh boy. As you can see, I think we last left off about targeting these buy side levels at the highs, right? Remember, we look for these candlestick wicks that are sticking out higher than all the other ones. And more importantly, I always tell you guys, think of these wicks like nails sticking out of the ground, right? Or more importantly, those of you guys that play Call of Duty, you guys already know I like to reference COD. And like think of those like landmines that when you walk and you run through the hallway and you get these campers everywhere and you run to the hallway and all of a sudden you hear the spring go off and it shoots up and it starts spinning and it's gonna pretty much put everybody in the gulag that's in the room. Well, and the only way to dodge that is by proning, by laying down immediately. I want you to picture that and to correlate that to being buy side or sell side liquidity levels. And the only way to avoid being destroyed and being sent to the gulag is if you collapse your trades. Okay. That being said, if you ever target these buy side levels, collapse your trade. There's no need of being greedy thinking it's going to go all the way up here to the upside. Although it can, but it can also come back and fill these orders. All right. And this is where it gets interesting. Okay. Because you got guys that trade indicators. And you got guys that trade like moving averages. And I'm not a moving average guy. You guys can comment below and tell me if I'm right. I do not use indicators at all. But I'm willing to bet that your moving average, EMA, whatever the hell, is going to say that this is the EMA or some shit like that, and price is coming down and it's below it, and it's gonna when it gets too far away from it, it's gonna come back and retest it, right? But ultimately, what's happening is price is just rebalancing these FVGs, okay? So price left this engulfing candle to the upside. So naturally, if I miss the entry down here, my eyes are gonna be paying attention to this. So I am absolutely watching to see what happens when we come back to retest this level. But Warren, price is all the way up there. How do you know it's going to come back? It always comes back. And if you don't believe me, go back test it like I did, and then go forward test it. There will be no FVG left behind. So I'm waiting to see what happens here. If I miss the trade and there isn't a trade and there's red for the news, I'm going to align price with time, and I'm going to look at the calendar to see if this just so happens to get hit the same time that there's a red for the news event, and that kind of gives me an idea where the wick is going to be for me to catch an entry back to the upside. Or guess what? If price fails this fair value gap, then obviously then I know that we're going to be in bearish order flow. We might come target some levels down here. But to know my bias and to know if we're going to go up or down, you have to wait for confirmation, and that is how we get the confirmation. So like I said before, we swap buy side liquidity. Once this candle closes in the next 17 minutes, this is the hourly candle, it's probably the FVG here. Price might retrace, come wick into this FVG, and come fill these orders down here. But either way, I'm not looking for a trade until I know for sure we got bullish order flow. And if we do have bullish order flow, then I'm going to be waiting for entry somewhere down here so that way I can frame my risk, so that way I don't get stopped out all the way up to the upside or get stopped out all the way to the downside. Let's go to a smaller time frame and let's find out when the market opened today. Okay. Here we go. This is Wednesday at, this is Central Time, by the way, 8:30. What do we have here? Okay. Once again, push to the upside, sweep of buy side liquidity. That was the target. What did price do? Chop everybody up, made everybody become bullish, and then started melting to the downside. After price dropped and gave us an engulfing candle on a 30-minute time frame. And I just talked about this actually. I just talked about how you have to flip. I just had somebody over here last night, and there's two types of traders is what we talked about. You got the traders who have been taught retail logic, been on YouTube, TikToks, and they think they know what they're doing, but it's just not working for them. And then they come across my information and my strategy and the stuff that I teach, and they are asking questions so that way they can have conviction, right? I can show you this stuff over and the stuff is going to play out over and over and over again. But until you're convinced and submit to the idea that it's right and your idea of the markets is false, then you're not going to believe it. Then you got the new guys like you who've been DMing me at Worm Effects on Instagram, trying to join the Day Trading Academy. And then I just show you this stuff. I cut out all the fat and we get straight to it. And you guys see this stuff play out. You guys see your levels get hit. And you don't have to do any convincing because this is the first thing that you guys were taught, right? So those of you guys that like already trade, one of the first things you guys ask me is like, what time frame? All the time frames. I look at all the time frames. I'll look at the 15-second time frame. I'm looking at where are their efficiencies. Is there an order block on the 5-minute? Is there a fair value gap on the 5-minute? Is there a liquidity level on the 30-minute? That's what I'm looking at. Is there a FVG on a 3-minute? I'm looking at all time frames. Why? Because you get some shit like this, right? You get a drop on a 3-minute time frame, and you guys would call this a change in what do you call it? A change in character or whatever you want to call it. But you have an absolute melt here, leaving an FVG behind after a swap buy side, by the way. Okay. And then you have a precise entry, ever so precise. The precision here is amazing. Price literally retraced into it and hit the midpoint of this FVG to the wick and then targeted sell side liquidity after. Guys, it does it over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and it doesn't fucking stop. But you guys are still using indicators, and you guys are blinded looking at lines, and some of you guys are even buying indicators that outline FVGs. And I tell you guys, don't do that, because you guys won't be able to spot these levels with the naked eye right away. And this is on a 3-minute time frame. So you guys are asking me, how did you find that level? I look at all the time frames and I mark on my areas. And when price gets there, I look to see how it reacts. And as you can see, it reacted. So you say, well, where's your entry? Where's your stop loss? Well, let's just protect ourselves and let's just enter as close to that midpoint as possible. And because we know that price was bullish in 11 and go candle to the upside, but I'm bearish because we swept buy side liquidity and we just absolutely melted. Like, we already swept buy side over here to the left. So why would I be looking for bullish order flow? It just told us that we probably got to rebalance all of this. There's no fair value gaps here. From here, guys, look. From here, 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 and all of this down here, there are no fair value gaps. There's nothing until you get down here. And guess what? I haven't even looked yet. We're doing this live. I haven't even rehearsed this. Boom. So you're telling me, Worm, that if there's nothing here, right? There's no inefficiencies, no order blocks. The price is just going to keep melting until it finds its target. Yes. Yes. So how do you trade it? I'll wait for a sweep. Boom. Drop. Tap and go strategy. Retrace it to the displacement level or fair value gap left behind. Enter at the midpoint. Stops above the fair value gap. Targeting opposing liquidity. TP hit. And it doesn't fucking stop. I'm stopping here, though. I'm not stopping down here. I'm taking my bread when we get down here. More importantly, guess what? Look at the R multiple. It's a 1 to 5. So if I get stopped out here, so what? I only lose this much instead of losing. It's like some of you freaking cappers, you guys are taking 1-to-1s. When I'll just take this, I get stopped out. I might try it again up here at this one, right? Cool. So guess what? Get stopped out again and I'm done. But at least I didn't lose $1,000, $2,000 in my prop firm account, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't care what strategy you guys have. It's about staying in the game as long as possible. You want as many bullets as possible so you guys can be profitable and actually catch the winning trade. That's it. But you're not going to get it if you guys are over leveraging and you're trying to get rich and buy a Lambo on one position. All right? That's how we flipped that $100 account to $6,700. So anyway, while Trump is talking about whatever the fuck he's talking about, and it doesn't really matter, again, we're looking down here as we're melting down here. We're looking down here to see how price reacts, okay? And when we wake up tomorrow, you guys are going to see price down there. You're going to be like, how did he know? Well, go watch the Zooms, guys. Like, come on. Or price can come back and retrace this FVG before it does it. Either which way, I'm not trading and I'm waiting, okay? That doesn't mean Worm says it's coming down, so I'm just going to short it. Don't short it. Although it might come by here and then come back. Don't short it. Wait for price to come to you. If you want the best trades, you want the best R multiple, wait for price to come to you, all right? And if you don't know where price is going to go, then don't take a trade. It's that simple. There's going to be plenty of opportunities. This chart is moving every single day. All right, that's what we got on NQ, guys. I'm not going into every stock. I told you guys, I really don't care what everything else is doing until I can find an entry for us to actually catch a good opportunity to buy these stocks, right? Because we also talk about long-term investing in the Day Trading Academy. We don't just talk about being a super day trader, trying to trade every single day, try to trade everything every day. We're also trying to build portfolios for long-term wealth management so that way we can actually take care of our kids and retire from our day jobs, all right? We're not in this race to just trade prop firms for the rest of our lives. We want to get residual incomes and get dividends and all that stuff. And that's what none of these traders are talking about, because all they want you guys to do is buy the course, all right? But let's go ahead and switch over to Forex, okay? Let's switch over to gold. And as you can see, we've retraced into this level, right? Let's see here. Where do we identify this level from? We have a level here on an 8-hour, and this is also an FVG on the daily time frame. Just barely worked into it. Could have went to a smaller time frame, make it more precise, sure. If I just do that real quick while we're on this video, you guys can see, once again, price wicks into an FVG and gives us a nice push to the upside. Beautiful wick. Now, where can price go? Obviously, price can come here. We can see what price does. And most, I'm flipping through this time frame, guys. I'm not sticking to one time frame. I'm looking for inefficiencies on all the time frames. Price can wick up into this FVG, then give us a continuation to come take out sell side, right? Or potentially invert this, which is what I hope happens. I'm not in a position, but give us one of these, push up, boop, retrace it to the FVG, give us a continuation, take out buy side, right? But either which way, guess what? We're gonna wait till it gets there and see what happens. Okay, so I'll put a little eyeball right here. That should happen probably here in a little bit while Trump's yapping about whatever the hell he's yapping about, and then we'll see what happens when price gets there. Okay. Oil, sorry guys. I hope you guys filled up your tanks, but you can't say that I didn't warn you guys. Oil's still at $103 a barrel, and we're not slowing down, guys. I told you what we're looking for. Okay, Warren, where'd you get this level? Where? How do you know? How do you know this level? Next target. How? How does he know this? Go watch the previous videos. All right, it's hidden in these videos because I'm not here just to give you guys the answers. I want you guys to actually pay attention and be rewarded for watching these videos and subscribing. All right. All right. So that's our next target. Right up here this week, I got my alert set, and I'll be back to tell you guys I told you so. Let's go ahead and switch over to BTC for all my BTC haters that love to be liquidity. I'm not gonna pull out my liquidity gun, but hey, we are definitely shorting the market. We are definitely shorting Bitcoin while you guys are getting cooked. Okay. These are our levels. I can't wait to come back and tell you I told you so. But if price does not shoot above the 70,000 level, I told you these fair value gaps have to hold. And you have to see some engulfing candles. And I mean, I know I'm joking and stuff, guys, but I really do hope Bitcoin does push to the upside for you guys to say they got your whole mortgage on here because you guys weren't taught proper risk management. You guys FOMO'd into it because you were watching these TikTok reels and shit like that. But this is our first target that got clicked already. I'm just going to remove this line now. This is our next level, 63, then 60. And then when we zoom out, our ultimate level is in the 40s. And honestly, guys, by this time it's too late. You guys probably already lost half your portfolio or half your account. But do as you want. This is not financial advice. I'm just here to deliver the message. All right. Don't shoot the messenger. All right. I'm just trading this shit. But thank you guys for holding your positions because I'm shorting it the whole way down and I need the liquidity. All right. So that's what we got today. Just an update on Hell Week, day 3. Not a whole lot is happening. Don't get too caught up in Trump over here capping, talking about he's going to be out of there in 3 weeks. They'll be out of there when we get done getting whatever the hell it is we went in there for. So if it's the, I almost slipped up, but if it's the, how should I say this? Because last time I was talking too much and my PC got zapped. But let's just say if there's any resources over there that we want, we're not leaving until we get them. Or we're not leaving until another country gets them. All right? Put 2 and 2 together. But like I said, if you guys want to join the Day Trading Academy, make sure you guys follow me at WarmFX on Instagram. Shoot me a DM. I got 5 spots left because somebody already locked in. Once I do this, this is it. I'm teaching all my strategies to my students, and I don't care your education level, and I don't care how good of a trader you are. If you're a beginner or if you got a little bit of experience but just can't find profitability, or you don't have a proven strategy, or some of this stuff is just sounds like a foreign language to you, it doesn't matter. I got something for everybody. So DM me at WarmFX on Instagram. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel if you guys like watching this content. Until the next video, you guys already know. Peace.